Apple's AI is not what you think. So yeah, Apple introduced AI and they actually called it Apple Intelligence. Besides that, this is actually an insanely smart marketing move. There's also something way more interesting about this naming. So in this video, I'd like to share with you why Apple Intelligence is so much more than we initially think. Let's start with the naming. Apple introduced AI and they called it Apple Intelligence. And not only did they do this for marketing reasons, but also because it's not artificial intelligence. Yes, there are some artificial intelligence features, like for example, the summarize feature, or the fact that you can make your own emojis called Genmoji, or even use the image one feature to create your own images and designs. That's all awesome and that's really like AI as we know it. But Apple Intelligence is so much more than that. It understands the context and with that also your personal needs, and that's something other AI players are not able to do. If you look at it, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, they don't know a lot about you. They give you the right suggestions based on the prompts that you're giving. But what's truly unique here is that your iPhone knows so much about you, and based on all this data is able to give you a really good personal suggestion or proposal. And that's something truly unique we've never seen before. Also, when we look at the privacy aspect of Apple Intelligence, this is also truly outstanding, and I think a lot of people don't really understand what's going on here. Let me explain this. First of all, everything runs on device. So on your iPhone, it's not going to the web, it's not going to any server, and that's actually something really relaxing to know, that your data is safe on device and not being shared in any way. However, it might happen that Apple Intelligence will need to use the server. Then you shouldn't be worried because it's an end-to-end encrypted request going to a private cloud server that is not storing any data. So what just happens, you send your request, your prompt, and then the server is going to process that. Everything is secure. Then you get a response or output back, and then everything that happened on the server is immediately erased, destroyed, deleted, however you want to put it. So there is no memory of anything that happened. They also released a specific paper in which they explain what's happening and are actually demanding researchers, tech enthusiasts, or anyone to actually test and see where there are any problems in this system. I've never seen this before, and it really gives peace of mind for us users. And then talking about like these requests, we also know that now Apple is partnering with ChatGPT. Probably this could in the future also be other partners, for example, Google Gemini, or even maybe Microsoft's Copilot. What's really amazing about, for instance, this first partnership with ChatGPT, and I think this will also be the case for the future partners, that first of all, the user really needs to accept the request when ChatGPT is being used. And when is ChatGPT used? That might be the case when Apple Intelligence itself is not able to solve your request. I'm actually curious to know like if Apple, with the partnership with ChatGPT, maybe paid ChatGPT a lot to do this, because ChatGPT needs data to train their models. I'm not sure what's happening here. From what I've heard is that there's maybe no payment, and ChatGPT now runs on plenty of devices at once natively, and then I think they hope that people might upgrade to maybe better AI models, better language models. I don't know the details here. And then next up, I think this is a really underestimated one. When Apple Intelligence will be introduced, so right now we only know that it will be compatible on iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max and newer, because they have the A17 Pro chip, and these chips have 8 gigs of RAM, and that is needed to run Apple Intelligence, as well as all the Apple Silicon Mac and iPad models. So that's all the iPads and Macs that have an M1 chip or newer will be able to run Apple Intelligence when it's going to be released. And so yeah, what's important to notice here is that when Apple Intelligence will be released, all these millions of devices that are available immediately have access to this AI model, to Apple Intelligence. And I always compare this to when Apple introduced the iPhone 7 without the headphone jack. People went crazy over it, and it's funny actually because because Samsung made fun of them, and then a year later they also removed the headphone jack. But what I'm trying to say here is that when Apple introduces something like Apple Intelligence, this groundbreaking new feature or AI, it's going to be adopted by the masses pretty quickly, and that's something other companies are not able to do. The impact Apple has on our lives in general is massive, and that means that Apple Intelligence could truly be revolutionary because it can be used and adapted insanely fast. And lastly, what's really unique about Apple is that they have their ecosystem. Apple Intelligence will use all the data from your different devices. It will start with iPhone, iPad, and Mac, but obviously will probably get data from your Apple Watch and will be available on Apple Watch, maybe even on AirPods, obviously Apple Vision Pro, and also potential new products that are coming. What I see here is the whole ecosystem will benefit from Apple Intelligence, and that's something, again, other brands are not able to do. All this data from your Mac, where you maybe work a lot on, from your Apple Watch, where you work out with, and then from your iPhone, which is probably your daily driver that you use for almost anything, will be compiled together into Apple Intelligence to be the personal assistant we've always been dreaming of, that can give you recommendations that are truly tailored and designed for you. What do you think about this? Share it in the comments. Do you agree with me or not? I really would love to know your thoughts about this. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and also hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my next videos. Thanks for being here, and see you in the next one. Peace.